up with a 55-6 win over arch rival Fairmont. So going to be looking for them to have another strong game this week.
Yeah, a bit of a change-up, as you just said, on the return. Griffith not back on the return. It's Redlin and Kennard. That's back deep for the Elks.
Griffith last week returning that punt, the opening punt, 85 yards for a touchdown. Quite a play right there. And the special teams worked good all week. Last week, last Friday, they had a very successful game against Fairmont. You know, every one of their returns gave them a very, very good field position from their 40-yard line on. And that really proved to be a contributing factor for the Elks as they went on during the game.
Matty, Fairborn's getting ready to line up. A beautiful night for football, 61 degrees.
And James Patterson's kick lands at about the 15-yard line, fielded by Nick Redlin. Nick Redlin looking for some room on the outside of the field. He's finally tripped up at the Elk 25-yard line, so the Elks are going to start the very first possession of the game on their own 25-yard line. As Redlin was looking for a little bit of room to run to the outside, he was just barely tripped up by the Fairborn special teams. As Hawk brings the offensive unit out onto the field, we're going to have one split out wide to the near side and one split out to the far side. Willie McLean on the near side. J.D. Kennard split out to the far side as Ray Houston's in the backfield. Redlin goes into motion. The ball's handed off to Houston. Houston finds a little hole in the line of scrimmage and he's tripped up, but not after a gain of about 4 yards on the play.
If you're sitting at home or with your friends on Saturday nights, tune in with Luke Dogg and Little Mac on WCWT. Our show, Reggae Our Way, has the best reggae, modern and classic on 101.5 The Beef.
As Hawk brings the team back up to the line of scrimmage once again in the same formation. Got Houston in the backfield, McLean in, Kennard split out wide. Redlin goes in motion to the near side of the field. Ball given once again to Ray Houston. Houston trying to just muscle his way right up the gut of the Fairborn defense, and it's good for a couple of yards on the play.
Not much happening for the Elks offense here. Picking up a few yards, but not making the big plays to start out with like they did against Fairmont last week. Small little drives. They're going to have to hope they get something going here.
That's right, but the Elks are usually known for their, take their time, move it down the field on the ground. Generally, the Elks stick with their ground game more than their passing game, and we're going to look to see a lot from their running game tonight as Carpenter goes in motion to the near side of the field. Hawk takes a snap, steps back, and gives it to Houston, who finds a hole in the line of scrimmage, breaks one tackler, and finally brought down just after he crosses into Fairborn territory right there. Houston had one man to beat, or he'd been all alone into the end zone for a score for the Elks. However, he was barely brought down by the Fairborn defense. Got enough for the first down, however.
Yeah, that was more like what I was talking about. That's the plays that need to be getting done, getting the ball moved up the field. As you said, they're a small bit-by-bit team, but that was a good play.
As Carpenter goes into motion once again, Hawk rolling out to the near side of the field, looking to pass, and he does complete to Josh Carpenter. It's going to be just enough for the first down as Carpenter gets to the 40-yard line of Fairborn. Good play there by Hawk, showing a little bit of poise as he was rolling out to the near side of the field and just finding Carpenter upfield.
Carpenter in the last game stepping it up, not having a real good start in the first 3 games. Stepping it up in this game, looks like he's going to show a little bit more effort again in this game.
Carpenter had a great game last week, scoring a 56-yard touchdown run as Hawk takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Houston, gives it to Carpenter. Carpenter looking for some room to run to, and he's finally brought down after a gain of 5 yards on the play. Carpenter had a little bit of room, tried to work past some of the Fairborn defense, and was finally brought down at the 35-yard line.
If you wake up early on Saturday and all your friends are still asleep, make sure you call us up here at Morning Cartoons at 439-ELKU. Stacy and Kyle will be awake to liven up your morning. Tune in to 101.5 this Saturday and every Saturday from 9 to noon on The Beef.
Redlin goes into motion, far side of the field. Hawk pitches out to Redlin. Redlin's got some room to run to, and a good block by J.D. Kennard as Redlin's going to just trot into the end zone for a score for the Centerville Elks. Good blocking there by the Centerville Elks. J.D. Kennard laying quite a hit on the outside of the field to one of the cornerbacks for the Fairborn Skyhawks, and Redlin had the whole field to work with.
He had a wide open shot. It was an excellent block by J.D. Kennard. Nobody near him. There wasn't even anybody tailing him.
That's right.
It was an excellent job.
Hawk had a nice heads-up play right there. He was running the option on that play, and he, just before he got hit, he released the ball to Redlin, who had the entire field to work with, and pretty much just trotted into the end zone for a score for the Centerville Elks as Nugent's kick is up, and it is good. So your Centerville Elks go up by a score of 7-0 over the Fairborn Skyhawks with 9:44 remaining in the first quarter of play. This is what we wanted to see from the Elks, coming out to a very quick start. Yard line. of Fairborn. And Nugent had a good week last week kicking. Sent 3 or 4 balls into the end zone off kickoffs for touchbacks. So we're going to see what he's going to do here tonight. A nice end-over-end kick down to the Fairborn 10-yard line, fielded by P.J. Brown. Looking for some room right up the middle of the special teams unit, or right up the middle of the field. And Clayton Spence there to make the hit just as he crossed the 20-yard line. So Fairborn's going to start with decent field position, not too great, just past the 20-yard line with 9:39 remaining in this first quarter.
Elks defense is going to come out with a few changes this week. A.J. Hawk at the linebacker position for Rob Baumann. Rob Baumann moving up to Chris Mitchell's spot, defensive end. And Ben Ailes is in for Terry Tamaska, who is out with an injury, chipped hip bone for about the next 2 weeks.
That's right, Ailes is going to be looking to play both sides of the ball tonight as Trevor Combs steps back in the pocket and he's hit hard by the Centerville Elk defense as he was looking downfield for Zach Lowry. The Elk defense putting a lot of pressure on Trevor Combs right there, as that's going to bring up a 2nd and 14, or excuse me, a 2nd and 10 for the Fairborn Skyhawks.
That was a good job by Ben Ailes to get up there and get in the quarterback's face, put him under a lot of pressure, got that ball completely thrown in the middle of nowhere. Good job by Ben Ailes.
That's right, the Elks defense putting a lot of pressure. Combs steps back in the pocket and fires a quick pass out to the near side sideline, in and out of the hands of number 11, Zach Lowry. We're going to be looking for Fairborn to do a lot of passing tonight. Combs is only a sophomore. He did lead this Fairborn team last year, and so he does have the experience that the Fairborn Skyhawks need.
Fairborn this year with a real young team. I believe it's only 12 seniors on the team, 8 of them starting. Combs led the team last year as a freshman with a pretty stacked house of seniors.
And Combs dropping deep back in the pocket, lost the pass up to Ryan Tate. Ryan Tate makes the catch on the near side sideline, finds some room to run to, but that's not going to be enough for the first down. He does get out to the Fairborn 35-yard line, however, but it's going to be just shy of the first down marker.
Elks defense doing a wonderful job getting in the face of the quarterback, putting a lot of pressure on him. He got that pass away, but Dave Braner was right in his face.
That's right. Trevor Combs had to drop deep back into the pocket, but unfortunately Ryan Tate was open on the near side of the field. It's going to be a completion, but looks like Fairborn's going to punt this one away. Back to punt for the Skyhawks will be Tim Swoop, and back to receive for your Centerville Elks will be number 45, Jason Griffith. And the snap was a little bit low, not a bad kick. Griffith's going to be back to field it at the Elk 35-yard line. He's being pressured a bit, and he's finally brought down at the Centerville Elk 42-yard line. Ryan Tate to make the tackle for the Fairborn Skyhawks.
Make sure you listen to Mike and Shane every Saturday from 3 to 6 for the best classic and modern rock, only here on WCWT 101.5 for the beat.
And there's 8 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in this first quarter of play. The Elks already up by a score of 7-0 over the Fairborn Skyhawks. The Elk defense on the previous drive just forced Fairborn to go 3 and out. As Ryan Hawk brings his team back up to the line of scrimmage, we got J.D. Kennard split out wide to the near side, or the far side. Ailes goes into motion. Hawk takes a snap, fakes it to Huston, drops back in the pocket, looking out the near side, or far side of the field, and the pass is complete to J.D. Kennard. Kennard is quickly hit by the Fairborn defense, but not after he gets to the Fairborn 43-yard line. So good catch there by Kennard. Looks like he bobbled it a bit, but did bring it in and got enough for the first down.
Hawk looking initially over at Ben Ailes for that pass. Defense picked up on that well, got over to Ailes, left Kennard wide open. Hawk put the ball to him.
As the Elks have 4 wide out, 2 on the near side, 2 on the far side. Huston in the backfield. Ailes goes into motion, and the ball is given to Ray Huston. He's quickly hit at the line of scrimmage and muscles his way for about 2 yards on the play.
For the best jazz this side of the Miami River, tune in to Dave and Kevin this Sunday, 12 noon, WCWT 101.5 FM The Beat. And you are listening to WCWT 101.5, your home for Centerville Elks football, brought to you by the One Stop Auto Salon. The One Stop Auto Salon is located in the heart of Centerville and deals with any kind of customizing you might want done to your car. As Hawk runs the option, pitches out to Kennard. Kennard hit on the near side of the field and is finally brought down by Ryan Tate and Zach Lowry. Kennard just shy of the first down marker. As Jason Griffith left the ball there, Matt. I understand you got the numbers mixed up. Trying to let you know on that one.
Well, thank you, Chip. Anything else to add on the commentary there? It was a fairly good run by Griffith. And that's going to be enough for the first down for your Centerville Elks. As Hawk brings the team back to the line of scrimmage. Ailes goes into motion. And Hawk's rolling out to the far side of the field. He's going to keep it himself. Tries to cut back up the middle of the field. And he's brought down after about a gain of about 3 yards on the play.
Hawk trying, but there's just nowhere to go. Defense, the Fairborn defense was all over him. There was not even a slight hole for him to head up to.
It's going to bring up a 2nd and 8 for your Centerville Elks as there's only 7 minutes and 14 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play. The Elks are up by a score of 7-0 over the Fairborn Skyhawks, as the Elks are going to come up with 2 split out, 1 on each side of the field. J.D. Kennard split out on the far side of the field, and William McLean split on the near side. Hawk fakes the handoff, rolls out to the near side of the field, fires a pass, just lost the pass to J.D. Kennard over the middle of the field, in and out of the hands of William McLean. McLean almost running into Kennard on the play. Hawk lofted a pass up into the end zone, and it was up for grabs, almost picked off by number 11, Zach Lowry from Fairborn.
There was heavy coverage on that. I'm not sure which one of the receivers thought they were going to catch the ball. They both seemed to be heading towards it and almost collided. They ended up colliding with their defenders, but neither one of them seemed to know what was going on.
That's right. It looked like it was intended for J.D. Kennard as he was looking over his shoulder at the pass, but William McLean also in the area as Hawk takes a snap, drops back in the pocket deep, and fires a pass out to the far side sideline. And Kennard makes the grab at the Fairborn 21-yard line. It's going to be just enough for the first down. Kennard just barely getting his feet in there to make the grab for the Elks.
Excellent job by Kennard to get his feet in there. Tippy-toeing just barely to keep the ball in bounds. Good job by Kennard.
And the Elks move the chains once again. They're deep into Fairborn territory with 6:48 remaining in the first quarter of play. The Elks moving the ball very effectively tonight on the ground and in the air, showing they can do it both ways. As Hawk has 2 split out wide on each side of the field, and he fakes the handoff to Huston, gives the ball to Ailes. Ailes trying to find some room to run right up the gut of the Fairborn defense, and he is finally brought down, but not after a gain of about 8 yards on the play. Not a bad run there by Ailes.
Not bad at all. He kept the ball for a long time. Not a whole lot of yardage picked up. He really didn't have much anywhere to go. Came right back across the field. Picked up some yards though. Brings up
I'd say about
2nd and 3, I'd have to say.
Looks about right as the Elks are on the Fairborn 15-yard line when McLean split out to the near side of the field. And the ball is given to Ray Huston. Ray Huston is quickly hit at the line of scrimmage and wrapped up by about 5 or 6 Fairborn defenders right there. Huston had nowhere to go on the line of scrimmage.
The Fairborn defense has been a lot more impressive than I expected. They've stepped up and really done a fairly good job of stopping what could be some fairly big plays, making lots of big stops at the lines. That's their strongest point, is their line.
That's right, the line led by 2 seniors on the team, 4 seniors, excuse me. 4 of the 12 seniors on the Fairborn squad as Hawk takes a snap, rolls out to the far side of the field, fakes a pass, then lost one up in the end zone for J.D. Kennard. Kennard making a diving grab, and they're going to call that one a touchdown for your Centerville Elks. So the Elks go up by a score of 13-0 over the Fairborn Skyhawks. Very, very good catch right there by Kennard.
Kennard doing an outstanding job tonight. Matt, he started to cut you off there, but to keep the ball keep his feet in bounds, to get the score there, and just minutes before to get the first down on the pass, just stopping in just the right time. Excellent job by J.D. Kennard.
That's right, and Hawk drew every one of the Fairborn cornerbacks up to him, thinking that they were going to put him out of bounds, and left Kennard and I believe William McLean wide open in the end zone. Kennard just had to bring that one in as Nugent's kick is up and good once again. So Nugent puts the Elks up by a score of 14-0 with 5:32 remaining in the first quarter play. The Elks look very, very strong on both sides of the ball. The defensive unit whether or not he's a little bit tired this week from kicking so much last week, I don't know, but he still had a very good kick on the first try. As Nugent's kick is another good kick, falling way back into Fairborn territory, caught by P.J. Brown on the 9-yard line. Brown trying to run right up the gut of the Centerville special teams, and he is quickly brought down as he reaches the 25-yard line.
Elks football on 101.5 is brought to you by the One Stop Auto Salon. The One Stop Auto Salon is located off State Route 48 in the center of Centerville, right behind the Women's Air and Space Museum.
One Stop Auto Salon deals with any type of customizing that you would need done to your car, detailing, and it can improve the image of your car as well as the performance of your car. So give them a call at 438-8023. And Skyhawks taking that one right up the gut of the Centerville defense. Good for a gain of about 5 yards on the play. And I believe that was number 2, Joe Frazier, for the Skyhawks, carrying that ball.
5:10 clock running, and the 2nd and 5 for the Fairborn Skyhawks. Excuse me, I completely lost it. I wanted to say Hawks, but I knew that wasn't correct.
as the Centerville defense comes back up on the line. Ryan Tate goes into motion for the Skyhawks. The ball is handed off right up the gut of the Centerville defense, and looks like Joe Frazier's not going to get any yardage on that play. The Elk defense quick to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Looked like every one of the Centerville Elk defensive line players was right there to stop him.
Looked like all 11 players were laying on top of him at that point in time to bring him down at the line. Brings up a 3rd and 5 with 4:33 left to go here in the first quarter.
This will be a big play for the Centerville Elks if they can get Fairborn to go 3 and out once again, as the Elks offense running all over Fairborn's defense at this time. And Trevor Combs drops back into the pocket, throws out the near side sideline, in and out of the hands of Danny Beering, and that's going to bring up a 4th and 5 for the Fairborn Skyhawks. We're going to be looking for them to punt once again.
4:19 left here in the first quarter. As Matt said, they're getting ready. Looks like, I'm assuming they're going to punt the ball away with a 4th and 5 situation. Centerville Elks are up 14-0 over the Fairborn Skyhawks.
And Tim Swoop back to punt it away once again for the Skyhawks. On the first try, was a little bit of a low snap. He did handle it and get off of about a 40-yard kick right there. Another low snap as the Elks pressuring him, and he gets up a high kick that's going to bounce into Elk territory and landing about the 38-yard line. It's going to be down there by the Skyhawks special teams unit. Mike Eastep there down the ball for the Skyhawks as the Centerville Elks come back out onto the field. Hawk and company to do it once again.
Skyhawks got a lucky bounce there. Ball was kicked almost straight up in the air to avoid getting it blocked and dropped about on the 50-yard line and rolled a good 13, 14 yards after that in favor of the Skyhawks.
And the Elks are going to start this one with 4:07 remaining in the first quarter. They're going to have a 1st and 10 on their own 39-yard line. Hawk has J.D. Kennard split out wide to the near side of the field and Ray Houston in the backfield as Hawk turns. And it looks like it's a little bit of a flea flicker. Hawk launches up and past to Kennard on the near side of the field and is caught by Kennard on the 10-yard line. He's just barely wrestled down to the ground. Matt Basil making a touchdown-saving tackle right there. Kennard was slightly in front of him, but Basil grabbed a hold of that shirt and just wouldn't let go and finally brought him down.
He was not going to let go. Kennard struggled and struggled and struggled to get out of that one. But on the 10-yard line, and they kind of stood there for a good 3 or 4 seconds before he was finally brought down to the ground. Good job by the Elk offense there to pull off a pretty outstanding play.
That's right. That's not something I don't think I've ever seen out of the Elk offense. A little bit of a flea flicker right there. Hawk handed that off to Houston, and Houston pitched that back as Hawk takes a snap and pitches out to Redlin, who does not have control of the ball. It's going to be recovered by Fairborn on their own 19-yard line. Hawk was under a little bit of pressure right there, and he tried to pitch it out to the far side sideline to Nick Redlin. Redlin just a little too far out of his reach and couldn't dive on the ball as Fairborn's going to recover that fumble.
That was a big mistake, probably one of the biggest mistakes I've seen out of the Elks offense this year, and it doesn't hurt, but it doesn't help at all.
That's right. The Elks could do without it. It's not going to hurt them terribly, that it happened. I'm sure their defense will step it up right here and possibly get it back. Once again, as the ball, Combs takes the snap and rolls out the near side of the field. It's picked off by Ben Ailes. Ailes on about the 10-yard line, 5, and he just runs into the end zone for a score for the Centerville Elks. So the Elks turning it over on the Fairborn 19-yard line. Ailes there to get it right back for the Elks. So the Elks go up by a score of 20-0 early on in the first quarter.
Ben Ailes saying this afternoon he was going to put on a show. Was hoping he'd get to play a little bit more offense than he got to play last week. Hasn't got to play yet on the offensive side, but putting a show on the defensive side. Good job, Ben Ailes.
That's right, Ailes getting the points whatever way he can with a nice interception right there. Combs rolling out to the near side of the field, trying to get that one to Zach Lowry. Just couldn't quite get it to him. Ailes stretched out his 6-foot frame right there and brought that ball in and ran, I believe, about 15 yards for the touchdown for the Elks. As the hold from Hawk is good, and the kick is, looked like it would have been good, but there's going to be a flag on the play, and they're going to have to re-kick that one.
Looks like can't pick out the number, but number 20, it looks like to me, Josh Carpenter was not on the field. Elks got called for a penalty on that one.
It's going to move the Elks back to about the Fairborn 10-yard line. Nugent was faced with this a little bit last week, as he knocked home, I believe, a little bit of a 30-yard plus extra point attempt, as that one from Nugent is up and good. So Nugent puts the Elks up by a score of 21-0 with 3:23 remaining in the first quarter of play. And will be my pick for the combo of the future right there. Probably in the next 2 years here for the Elks, so I'll be looking for them to do some big things in the next couple of years. As it looks like Kennard's going to line up to take the kick for the Elks. Nugent's leg might be feeling a little bit tired, so we're going to bring Kennard out to kick this one away. As his kick is high, and it drives P.J. Brown to the 10-yard line where he fields at, and he tries to break out to the near side of the field. He finds a hole, he breaks one tackle. He's got one man to beat, that's J.D. Kennard, and Kennard just bringing him down out of bounds at the Elks 30-yard line. P.J. Brown had Kennard to beat, and Kennard luckily pinned him against the sideline and just brought him down to the 30-yard line.
Kennard just flat out faster than P.J. Brown was there. Kennard, he was dead on with him, started running as he got to him, and caught up to it very fast, within about 5 yards, and brought him down.
That's right. It does help to have a big guy like Kennard sitting back there as the kicker. You know, he's a big enough guy that he can lay a hard enough hit to knock somebody down and drive them out of bounds so that they will not, convert that for a touchdown. As Combs brings the Fairborn offense back up to the line of scrimmage. Frazier in the backfield. Tate goes into motion as the ball is given to Frazier. Frazier trying to find some room on the offensive line, and he's quickly brought down after a gain of 3 yards on the play. Not a bad run there by Fairborn. He had a little bit of room to work with, and he got a gain of about 3 yards on the play.
There's nothing better than tuning on your radio and hearing Spencer and Rhoda. Tune in Saturday mornings, 12 to 3, for the greatest modern and classic rock. We just sound it.
It was a fairly good show there on the Beef. I've listened to it myself once or twice, and I believe this weekend, aren't they setting up people for homecoming?
3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon is the deadline for homecoming dates. Ladies and gentlemen, if you need a homecoming date, Spencer and Willie are there for you. They're there to help you out. Give them a call, 439-3558.
That's right. As Combs brings his offense back up to the line of scrimmage, and he steps back in the pocket. He's looking to fire a pass out there, and the Elk defense is right there to quickly wrap him up behind the line of scrimmage. There's going to be a loss of about 5 yards on the play. The Elk defense running all over the offensive line, just pushing him right back into Combs as Combs is wrapped up before he can get the pass off.
Looks to be number 70, Bill Allison, leading that one, that sack for the Elk defense there. 2:30 left on the first quarter here. Clock ticking away. It brings up a 3rd and 13 for the Fairborn Skyhawks.
Third down on the 40-yard line.
And Combs is going to have 3 split out, 2 on the far side of the field, 1 on the near side. He steps back in the pocket, fires a pass out to P.J. Brown. And Brown made his way out to the far side sideline. And it looks like, and he's just tripped up by number 45, Jason Griffith. However, there was a flag on the play, so we're going to have to see if this one's going to stand for the Skyhawks. The officials discussing this one out on the field, and no official word yet. And it's going to be a false start on the Skyhawks. Big mistake right there. Skyhawks finally catching a break, and a good run there by P.J. Brown out to the far side of the field. He was just barely tripped up, grabbed by the ankles by Jason Griffith, and that's going to bring them back even farther. They're going to bring up a 3rd and, I believe, 18 for the Skyhawks.
If you want to hear your favorite band twice and listen to Dean and Rachel right here on 101.5, that's Tuesday from 7 to 10 for 2 for Tuesday.
2 is better.
Wider is better. We had this discussion earlier. Elks football on 101.5 is brought to you by the One Stop Auto Salon.
As Combs brings the offense back out to the Elk 45-yard line, drops back in the pocket, looking to pass, flushed out of the pocket, and he does pass it way downfield. It's going to float out of bounds over the head of Zach Lowry. Delaney there on the coverage for the Elks, and Combs hit hard by the Elk defense. Dan Braner, Sam Block, and A.J. Hawk all in to put Combs down on the ground. And Combs got quite a wake-up call right there from the Centerville Elk defense as his pass floated harmlessly out of bounds, nowhere in the reach of Zach Lowry.
Brings up a 4th down and 18. Fairborn punt the ball away. 1:41 left here in the 4th quarter. So far, that would show plenty of time for the Elks to put another score on the board.
And Fairborn is going to go for it, probably thinking, why not? Just try it early on in the game. As Ailes is blitzing from the outside, he knocks down Combs, and Hawk recovers the fumble. Hawk's got the whole field in front of him, and that's going to be another score for the Centerville Elks. Hawk just trotting in the end zone for the Centerville Elks. Ailes laying quite a hit on Combs as he was trying to roll out to the far side of the field, and just knocking the ball loose. Hawk there to pick up the ball and run 45 yards for the score for the Elks.
Ben Ailes putting on the show. A.J. Hawk there to pick up the show. A.J. Hawk, a freshman. He played outstanding last week, picked up the defensive lineman of the week position, and just turned around and playing awesome once again this week.
That's right. Ailes said he was, not that happy about getting that too much playing time on the offensive side of the ball. He is playing a little more defense now than he usually does, but he's definitely getting it done on the defensive side of the ball tonight, intercepting one pass, taking it back for a touchdown, as Nugent's kick is up and good. So the Elks go up by a score of 28-0 over the Fairborn Skyhawks with 1:30 remaining in the first quarter. This is still in the first quarter, and the Elks are up by a score of 28-0, jumping out to a very, very early lead, trying to put down the hopes of the Fairborn Skyhawks.
Ailes, as you said, not getting much defensive time. Usually last week they need a little help on the defensive side. I want to make sure it was strong, and Ailes is the guy to put up there this week. Taking over the starting position for Tamaska, who's out with a chipped hip bone. He's expected to be out for about 2 weeks. We're hoping Terry recovers quickly. He's an outstanding football player, and we'd like to see Ben with a little bit more offensive play.
And Ailes, though, getting it done. There's an interception for a touchdown, a forced fumble, which A.J. Hawk just rambled about 55 yards on that one for the score for the Elks. So the Elks defense getting it done here tonight, as well as the offense. The offense with 2 scores, the defense with 2 scores early or in the late going of this first quarter, as Kennard's going to step out to kick this one away for the Elks. Back for the Skyhawks will be P.J. Brown, Ryan Tate, and Josh Sexton. As Kennard's kick is up, and it is a nice high end-over-end kick. It's going to be fielded by Brown at the 15-yard line. Brown looking for some room. He's trying to run right up the gut of the Centerville special teams, and he is hit quickly by the Elks and brought down at the Fairborn 28-yard line. So the Elks not letting him break downfield like they did on the last kick.
That brings up 1st and 10 for the Fairborn Skyhawks. I'm just not doing well with this name. They're just Fairborn. 1:23 left here in the first quarter. The Elks defense hoping to go 3 and out again and get that ball back in the offensive hands.
That's right. Combs leading his unit back out to the line of scrimmage once again. Looks like the Skyhawks are going to have one split out on the near side of the field. That will be Zach Lowry, Joe Frazier in the backfield, as Josh Sexton goes into motion. And the pitch out to Josh Sexton. He's trying to make his way out to the near side sideline, and he is knocked and hit out of He is knocked out of bounds by Jason Griffith as he crosses the 40-yard line. So it's going to be just enough for the first down for the Skyhawks. It's going to bring up a 1st and 10 on the Fairborn 41-yard line with 1:17 remaining in the first quarter.
If you're looking for a fun way to spend your Monday nights, listen to Technical Difficulties with Dan and Tyler. Technical Difficulties will bring you great comedy along with great modern and classic rock. Check out the show every Monday at 7 on WCWT 101.5 FM Centerville.
I also recommend keeping your dial tuned to 101.5 and listening to the Big Bad Beefcakes as well. Good shows on Monday night as Combs takes a snap, rolls out to the near side of the field, has Tate open on the near side sideline, in and out of the hands of Tate as Ailes lays quite a hit on Tate. And it's going to be an incomplete pass for Trevor Combs. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 with 1:12 remaining in the first quarter.
Alrighty. Elks football on 101.5 is brought to you by the One Stop Auto Salon. The One Stop Auto Salon is located off of State Route 48 in the heart of Centerville, Ohio, right behind the Women's Air and Space Museum. One Stop Auto Salon is a great detailer, aftermarket performance, aftermarket looks. Head to the One Stop Auto Salon for all your automotive needs.
Tate goes into motion, the ball given to Joe Frazier. Frazier having a little trouble holding on to the ball and gets a little bit less than a yard on the play. The Elk defense there quickly wrapping him up on the line of scrimmage, as Frazier looked like he had a little bit of trouble holding on to the ball there, just barely going to the ground with the ball in his hands.
Brings it down to less than a minute now. 3rd and 9 for the Fairborn Skyhawks. The Centerville Elks are up 28-0 here at the end of the first quarter.
As time continues to tick off the clock, there's only about 40 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Fairborn is going to go out with 3 wideouts, 2 on the far side, 1 on the near side. Combs takes a snap and he's being flushed out of the pocket. He's hit hard by number 34, A.J. Hawk, behind the line of scrimmage. Hawk busted through a hole on the line of scrimmage and just laying a massive hit, I should say, on Trevor Combs. Combs didn't see it coming. Hawk came out of nowhere and just laid a massive hit on him.
That'll be good for Hawk's first hit strike, so he can plaster that helmet. It doesn't look to me like he's got any yet. That'll be good for a couple.
That's right. He'll be looking by his senior year to have quite a helmet full of hit stripes, as time's going to tick off the clock, and that's going to end the first quarter play out here at Buschemeyer Field in Fairborn, Ohio. Your Centerville Elks are up by a score of 28-0. All right, We're out here at Buschemeyer Field, Fairborn, Ohio. Your Centerville Elks are up by a score of 28-0. And Tim Swoop punting that one away for the Skyhawks as it is a high kick, and it's going to bounce on the far side of the field down by number 8, Matt Basil, on the far side sideline. The Elks are going to take over with a 1st and 10 on their own 37-yard line. So the Elks are going to be looking to get this one done on this possession as they have the previous two.
You're right, the Elks offense hasn't seen the ball in a while. The last two scores have been taken care of by the defense. The first one, making up for the mistake that the offense made, the one and only mistake I've seen so far this evening from the Elks.
That's right. The Elks are going to line up with 2 wide out, 1 on each side of the field. Kennard and McLean split out wide for the Elks as Hawk takes one quick step back in the pocket, fires out to the far near side sideline, and Jay Kennard. Kennard makes the catch, avoids one tackler, and he's breaking down the near side sideline, avoids another one, and he finally just steps out of bounds at the Fairborn 34-yard line. Kennard doing a good job of avoiding tacklers from the Fairborn defense. Reese Kendall finally there to just push him out of bounds.
Outstanding job by Kennard. He just juke left, juke right, just back up the field. Excellent job. He, in fact, probably would have had a little farther if he hadn't stepped out of bounds.
That's right, as the Elks line up with 2 wideouts, split out to the far side of the field. Kennard on the near side. As Carpenter goes into motion, the ball is given to Ray Huston. Huston trying to make his way up the gut of the Fairborn defense and gets a couple of yards on the play. Not a bad run by Ray Huston. Huston will be looking to, have a lot of yards in this game, as he's had over 800 yards in the first 4 games.
He's been playing outstanding, hoping to keep it up. Wanting to break the school rushing record set by Jeremy Atkins just a couple years ago.
And the Elks line up, and there's a flag on the play before it can even get underway, so we're going to have to see what the officials call on this one. Tomorrow afternoon, I just want to remind you that your boys varsity soccer team will be taking on Hudson at home at 3 p.m. It is senior day, so come out and support the Elks as they take on Hudson. And the Elks are going to be flagged for a false start on that one. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 15, I believe, or 14, I believe, for the Elks with 11:05 remaining in the first half of play.
Dawes Comedy Saturdays, the stuff of the best modern and classic rock for your pleasure. We're working hard to give you what you want.
We certainly are here at the Beef, and Hawk brings the offensive unit back to the line of scrimmage as he steps back and gives the ball to Ray Huston. Huston finding he does not give the ball to Ray Huston. Hawk had me fold up here. He faked it to Huston, gave it to Redlin. Redlin got a gain of about 5 yards on the play, back to the Fairborn 34-yard line. So gain of about 5 yards on the play.
The Elks doing an excellent job the past couple of weeks of doing the fake. Last week, an excellent fake by Adam Newton in the 4th quarter, I believe it was, to put Jason Griffith in the end zone for a touchdown.
And Hawk calling the shots once again. Drops back in the pocket, looking downfield for somebody, and he passes over the middle. There, Josh Carpenter make the catch and just almost brought down before he made it into the end zone, but that's going to be another score for the Centerville Elks. Matt Basil trying to bring him down just before he got into the end zone, but it's not going to be enough. Carpenter was wide open over the middle of the field. However, there is going to be another flag on the play. That's going to be a big, costly mistake. It's a holding call on the Elks, so that's going to bring them back, and it's going to set up a 3rd and 14 for your Elks, as they are on the Fairborn 43-yard line.
Typically, you see the change in a team come at the half. In the 2nd quarter, the Elks have come out and made 2 major mistakes that have really screwed them up this possession.
And that penalty is going to bring the Elks all the way back into their own territory. Big penalty, big costly mistake right there for the Elks. It's going to bring them back to their own 48-yard line. Going to bring up a 3rd and very long for the Elks. We'll probably look for Hawk to pass it away on this one.
Brings up a 3rd and 30 with 10:10 left in the 2nd quarter.
And Hawk takes a snap, drops back in the pocket, looking downfield, and he passes out. There's a little swing pass out to Huston out on the far side of the field. Huston has so much room to run to, gets just enough for the first down, and finally knocked out of bounds at the Fairborn 15-yard line. Hawk showed good poise back in the pocket as he stepped back, and just, a little outswinger out there to Ray Huston, who rambled for about 35 yards on the play.
That's outstanding. Typically, you don't see a team get out of a 3rd and 30 situation on a run play, just a typical handoff. That was an outstanding job by the Elks offense.
That's right, the Elks dug themselves back out of that hole, as the Elks are going to have 2 split out to the near side of the field, Carpenter and Kennard, as William McLean split out to the far side of the field. Hawk takes a snap, pitches it out to Redlin, Carpenter, who is quickly met after he passes the line of scrimmage. It's going to be good for a gain of about 4 yards on the play.
Carpenter being very useful this evening, scoring already 1 touchdown and 2 touchdowns in here.
Tonight?
1 touchdown tonight. No, the one that was just called back.
Just called back. He had
retarded, excuse me. I'm picturing it in my mind, and I'm just going, no, that didn't happen. It was called back, but Carpenter is showing that he's a lot more useful in this team these last 2 weeks.
And the Elks line up with one split out to the far side of the field. And before Hawk can even get that play underway, there is a number of flags out on the field, as there is only 9 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in this first half of play. The Elks are up by a score of 28-0 over the Fairborn Skyhawks in this second WOL game of the year for both teams. And it looks like the penalty is going to be on Fairborn as they are marching back deep into their own territory.
Stay tuned at the end of this first half for the One Stop Auto Salon halftime show with Adam Kefever and the coach Jason Fincher will be heading up here to the booth.
And also, special guest, I believe, if he made it out to the game tonight, Milan Kasanovic. And it looks like the officials are going to bring out the chains to see if this is going to be enough for the first down for the Centerville Elks. As I also want to remind you, if you like to go on the internet and surf the web, why don't you check out elksfootball.com on the World Wide Web, and the official signal that is going to be enough for this first down for the Elks, so it's going to bring up a first and goal for the Elks with 9:22 remaining in this first half of play. As Hawk brings the unit back out to the line of scrimmage. And William McLean split out wide at the near side of the field. Houston in the backfield. Redlin goes into motion as the ball is given to Houston. Houston has a huge hole on the offensive line to run through, and just makes his way into the end zone for another score for the Centerville Elks. So the Elks go up by a score of 34-0 over the Fairborn Skyhawks. Early on in this game, the Elks doing a good job of blocking right there, I believe, out on the right side. Andy DeVito and Zac Elcess making a little bit of room there for Ray Houston to run to, and Nugent's going to come back out to try the extra point for the Elks.
It's a good way to finish up a penalty flag drive by the Elks. Putting it in the end zone, make it 34-0. Nugent back to kick the extra point.
As the snap was a little bit high, but handled by Ryan Hawk, and Nugent put the extra point through the uprights once again, so the Elks go up by a score of 35-0 over the 8:02-3 to see if you can set up an appointment to see what he can do for you. As Nugent's going to come back out onto the field to take the kickoff for the Elks, and he sends a long kick out to the far side of the field. Is going to be fielded by Brown at the 9-yard line after it bounces a bit, and Brown has nowhere to run to as he's quickly wrapped up on the Fairborn 18-yard line. A return of about 8 or 9 yards on the play.
The Beef Stew is stirring up all your favorite tunes every Friday from 4 to 7 with Adam Kefever and Mike the Madman Foley at WCWT 101.5 FM Centerville.
And the Elk defense looking very, very strong right now in this game, as they have not allowed a point to be put up on that board by the Fairborn offense. There's only 9:06 remaining in this first half of play as Trevor Combs leads his offense back out to the line of scrimmage. Zach Lowry split out wide to the near side of the field with Josh Sexton in motion as the ball is handed off right up the middle of the field to, I believe, Ryan Tate, who was quickly wrapped up by the Centerville Elk defense on the line of scrimmage. Excuse me, that was Joe Frazier wrapped up on the line of scrimmage by the Centerville Elk defense for a gain of no yards on the play.
Matt, you were just making the comment about the score. 35-0, your Elks are up over the Fairborn Skyhawks. The Elks have looking this week to break the school record of most points scored in a game, which is 65 points. They came close last week. They're hoping to do it this week.
As Tate goes into motion, Combs hands the ball off to Frazier. Frazier finds the hole on the offensive line and gets a gain of about 3 yards on the play. Combs trying to do a little bit of a fake right there, faking to Tate and giving it to Frazier, as Frazier tried to go right up the gut of the Centerville defense, getting a gain of about 4 yards on the play.
Brings up 8:14 left here in the half. Centerville Elks are up 35-0 over the Fairborn Skyhawks. 3rd and 6. Fairborn offense.
As Fairborn's trying to put something together here late in this first half of play. They've been trying, and in the first quarter, one drive was brought back as Combs almost wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage by Nick Kapuska. Combs just barely avoiding a sack by Kapuska right there. Throws the ball out to the far side sideline. No one in sight. So it's going to bring up a 4th and 6 for the Skyhawks. The Skyhawks going to have to punt this one away. Number 18, Tim Swoop, out on the field to punt this away for the Skyhawks.
Number 45, Jason Griffith, back deep for the Elks. Griffith, he's played well defensively, but not making an outstanding point as he did last week, making several big plays. And hoping to see more out of Griffith here coming up.
And it's a low kick. Griffith fields it off the Fairborn 49-yard line, running straight up the middle of the field. He avoids one tackler and cuts back in the middle of the field. And he's got one man to beat, and he's brought down by Josh Sexton and Tim Swoop, excuse me, and there's a flag back at the 41-yard line of the Fairborn Skyhawks. So we're going to have to see if this run by Griffith is going to stand.
You know, I maybe spoke too soon. Outstanding run by Jason Griffith there, showing off his talent. Doing an excellent job to get the ball moved upfield.
And we're waiting from the word from the officials. And it's going to be a penalty against the Elks, so it's going to bring that one back. It was a clip on the Elks. So a couple costly mistakes on penalties here for the Elks in the second quarter of play, namely on the last drive where it brought up a 3rd and 30 for the Elks, and this one bringing back Griffith's run all the way back into their own end of the field.
Very, very costly mistake by the Elks there. Bringing the ball way back, as you said. 7:37 left here in the first half. Centerville Elks are up 35-0. The Elks offense hoping to put the ball in the end zone one more time.
The Elks are moving left to right on your radio dial as Hawk brings the unit back out to this line of scrimmage. Ailes goes into motion. The ball given to Ailes. Ailes looking for some room to run to. Finds it, and he's running out to the far side of the field. He's finally tripped up after he crosses the line, after he crosses midfield, excuse me. And that'll be good for a gain of 7 yards on the play, just barely getting into Fairborn territory.
Ben Ailes finally getting his offensive time that he's been looking for so desperately these past 2 weeks. Hopefully to see a lot out of Ben here coming up in this game. That was his first play with an excellent run.
And Ailes looking good on the defensive side of the ball, as he did have a interception for a touchdown, a forced fumble, which led to a touchdown in the first quarter play as Hawk fakes the handoff and gives the ball in the reverse to Kennard. Kennard has the entire field to work with. Kennard at the 15, the 10, the 5, and he just looks like he's barely going to make it into the end zone. Depends on where the officials are going to spot this. And he was brought down just before, looked like feet, before he crossed the goal line. And it's going to bring up a 1st and goal for the Elks. Ryan Hawk, just an incredible job on the reverse play right there, completely faking out the entire defensive unit from Fairborn. Just, you know, walking back.
Did you lose your train of thought?
Yeah, I did lose my train of thought.
The Centerville Elks doing an excellent job of mixing up some of the odds and plays today. Doing a really good job, throwing some stuff that they don't typically do, using the big playmakers.
That's right, and the Fairborn defense right now looking very, very tired as they are getting a lot of playing time out on the field. It looks like Hawk's going to just take the snap himself, and it looks like he got in the end zone. It's going to be another touchdown for the Centerville Elks, so the Elks go up by a score of 41-0 with 6:23 remaining in this first half of play. The Elks, as Chip said just a moment ago, coming out with some more big-time type plays. The flea flicker earlier on in the first quarter, and this reverse right here, well executed by Ryan Hawk, who completely faked out everyone in the stadium, almost including me, until I start Kennard streaking out to the far side of the field. As Hawk's hold is good, and the kick from Nugent is up and good once again. So the Elks go up by a score of 42-0. Over the Fairborn Skyhawks, since the defensive team is seeing a lot more time this game, they're getting very worn out as Nugent's lining up to take the kick for the Elks. Back are Tate, Brown, and Sexton for the Skyhawks as the ball is tipped at the 30-yard line of Fairborn. Tate picks up the ball, finds some room to run to, avoids one tackler, is finally knocked out. Nugent there to dive in front of him and kind of trip him up before he gets past the 43-yard line of the Fairborn Skyhawks. So not a bad job there by Nugent. Not the biggest guy, but did lay a little bit of a hit right there on Ryan Tate.
Matt, you made the comment earlier that Kennard will go up there and get in the face of the ball returner. Both of our kickers have showed in the past couple of weeks that they are willing to get up there and not be the last man, be the man up there in the pack ready to take him down in the front.
That's right, as Combs takes a snap, rolling out to the far side of the field, decides to keep himself on the option. He's tripped up behind the line of scrimmage by the Centerville Elk defense. Sam Block right there, grabbing at his ankles, tripping him up for a loss of 3 yards on the play. About 4 or 5 other Elk players right there in on the stop, and forcing Combs back behind the line of scrimmage.
Good job by Block there, just catch him at the last second there and trip him up. That's the defense finished off the sack.
As the Elks defense looking very, very strong right now in this game. And Combs going to have 2 split out wide. He takes 1 quick step back in the pocket, fires the pass out of the near side of the field to P.J. Brown. Brown wrapped up quickly right there by number 51, Chris Mitchell, one of the sophomores on the team. A big guy, big hitter. He gets the job done out there on the field for the Elks.
5:25 left here in the half. Clock ticking away. The Centerville Elks are up 42-0 over the Fairborn Skyhawks. Brings up a 3rd and 9 situation for the Fairborn.
As the Skyhawks line up with 1 wideout split out to the far side of the field, Sexton goes into motion. Combs rolling out to the far side of the field, looking downfield with somebody to pass to. Fires a pass out to Ryan Tate, and it is incomplete out on the far sideline. The Elks out there making good coverage on the play. Looks like it was number 9, Paul Moody for the Elks on the coverage of Ryan Tate. Nice job by the Elks right there to bring up a 4th and 9, excuse me. Or 3rd and 9, excuse me, for the Skyhawks.
Excellent job there by Moody. The Elks already showing with 5 minutes left here in the it's 4th and 9. Make the correction there. Fairborn's going to punt the ball away.
As the snap is good, Swoop gets off a low wobbly kick, and Griffith fields it on the Elk 24-yard line. Griffith running completely across the other side of the field, cuts back up the middle, and he is brought down just as he crosses the 32-yard line. Another flag on the play. We could look for something like a clip on the Elks, as this happened last time. Brought Griffith's return back a number of yards. And we're waiting for the word. And it is a clip on the Centerville Elks. So the Elks not really hampered, their performance. They're still performing well, but they could do without the mistakes like the penalties that just drive them further back down the field. The Elk offense not seeing the good field position that they had earlier on in the game.
As I was saying just before the punt, the Elks are doing an excellent job of already starting to rotate some of the younger players and some of the second stringers, getting them some time on the ball.
As Ben Ailes goes into motion for the Elks, and the ball is handed off to Ray Huston. Ray Huston running out to the near side sideline, avoids 1 tackler, and is hit hard by Ryan Tate on the Elk 20-yard line. Not after Huston gets gets about 7 or 8 yards on the play.
Looks like Fairborn's defense is getting a little frustrated. A little pushing match with number 67, Ryan Westerfield out there. And Westerfield walked away from it. Not a problem at all. He's doing just fine. Doesn't have a problem with the score. Not frustrated at all. But Fairborn's showing tiredness and frustration.
The Elks come up to the line of scrimmage in the wishbone formation with Kennard split out wide to the far side of the field. Redlin in at quarterback now for the Elks. And before the play can get underway, there's going to be a flag. A number of flags thrown down on the field. And we're waiting for the call from the officials. The Elks already starting to rotate a number of players in, as Ryan Hawk is already out on the sidelines, getting a little bit of a breather, and that's a full start on the Elks. That's going to bring them back even further into their own territory. They are deep back in their own territory right now. This is not helping the Elks cause out right now.
Tune in to Two Hot Chicks on Beef every day after school from 3 to 4. They're like a cup of Joe with a kick.
You can listen to them every weekday from 3 to 4 p.m. as Redlin takes a snap and turns around and hands the ball off to Ray Huston. Ray Huston met quickly at the line of scrimmage by the Fairborn defense, Dan DiGregorio, to make the stop for the Skyhawks, as that's going to bring up a 3rd and 6 for the Centerville Elks.
3:40 left on the clock ticking away. Centerville Elks are up 42-0 over the Fairborn Skyhawks. 3rd and 6 for the Elk offense.
As Kennard and Carpenter split out wide to the near side of the field, out to the far side of the field will be Ailes and McLean. Redlin in at quarterback and Huston in the backfield. Redlin drops back in the pocket, being flushed out of the pocket, decides to keep himself rolling out to the far side of the sideline, has room to work with. A flag thrown down on the play. Redlin still on his feet, and looks like they're going to call him out of bounds at about the 44-yard line. There was a flag thrown, however, on about the 35-yard line, so we're going to have to see if this run stands.
Penalty plague tonight. I said it earlier, the Elks are just getting, I don't know if their minds aren't in the game or what, but there's a lot of stupid mistakes that are causing the Elks just to be brought back. They should have been in the end zone a long time ago on this drive.
That's right, the Elks making one good play after another. However, penalties bringing them just further and further back into their own end of the field. And that's hurting the Elks right now as they're trying to get something started with their offense. As Redlin, made a good heads-up play right there, being rushed out of the pocket, and broke out to the far side sideline, and getting a gain of probably over 3 yards on the play.
I do want to commend Redlin on that play. Excellent job.
Elks did lose to Troy early on in the year, and some of those mistakes that they have right now, they need to iron those mistakes out if they want to contend later on in the year. As the Elks line up with one wide out, Kennard's put out to the far near side of the field. Ailes goes into motion, and Redlin takes a snap. Gives the ball to Huston. Huston trying to find some room down on the near side sideline. And he's quickly wrapped up by P.J. Brown, who just brings him out of bounds, along with Brown, Tate, and Basil there to make the stop for the Skyhawks. But looks like Huston got just enough for the first down as he is out to about the Centerville 28-yard line.
It is enough for the first down. 2:56 left here in the half. Stay tuned at the end of the half for the One Stop Auto Salon halftime show with Adam Kiefaber, Jason Mitchell, and Milan Kasanovich.
And Redlin brings his team back out to the line of scrimmage. The Elks in the wishbone formation with Carpenter, Ailes, and Huston in the backfield. Carpenter goes into motion. Ball given to Ailes. Ailes looking for some room to run to, and he's hit by Basil there. Kind of just brought down after a gain of about 7 yards. Not much Ailes could have done on the play right there. He had a little bit of room to work with, did what he could, and picked up about 7 yards on the play.
If you don't have a date for homecoming, tune in Saturday from 12 to 3 with Willie and Spencer. They will be sure to hook you up with the boy or girl of your dreams on your own, WCWT 101.5.
And Elks football right here on the beat is sponsored by the One Stop Auto Salon. The One Stop Auto Salon is located right in the heart of Centerville. As Redlin takes a snap, and the ball is given to Ailes. Ailes avoids one tackler and just crosses the 39-yard line of the Centerville Elks. That's going to be just enough for the first down, as there's 2:13 remaining in this first half of play. The Elks are up by a score 42-0 over the Fairborn Skyhawks, and the Elks doing it moving the chains once again.
This is more your typical Elks football, not the big play, first down on almost every play. This is the slow pace, take some time to get the job done in football.
That's right, and Redlin brings the team back out to the line of scrimmage. Two split out wide, one on each side of the field. Steps back, hands the ball off to Huston. Looks like he fumbled the ball a little bit of a mishandle right there on the exchange between Redlin and Huston, but the Elks come up with the ball, and that's going to bring up a second and, I believe, 10 for the Elks with 1:38 remaining in the first half.
Listen to the happy hours every Thursday from 7 to 10 with Eric and Paul. Great music, great times. Oh, what a feeling.
And
I just read what it says. Don't make fun of me. I just read what it says.
And Ailes goes into motion, the ball given to Huston. Huston trying to run that right up the gut of the Fairborn defense. He's wrapped up just as he crosses the line of scrimmage by a number of Fairborn players. And that's only going to be a gain of about 3 or 4 yards on the play for the Elks. Going to bring up a third and I believe about 7 with 1:02 remaining in the first half.
Elks football on 101.5 is brought to you by the One Stop Auto Salon. The One Stop Auto Salon is located on State Route 48 behind the Women's Air and Space Museum. Give One Stop Auto Salon a call at 438-8023.
And Redlin has two wideouts. He takes a snap, drops back in the pocket, and he fires over the middle of the field, just out of the reach of number 4, Ben Ailes. Ailes was wide open over the middle of the field. Redlin's pass not quite on the mark. It's going to bring up a 4th and 7 for your Centerville Elks with 39 seconds remaining in the first half of play. The Elks are up by a score of 42-0, but they're going to have to punt this one away to Ryan Tate. Looks like Kennard's back to take the punt for the Elks.
First time this evening that the Elks have had to punt the ball away. No, it's kind of upsetting to them, but they're moving the guys in and out, trying to get them some time.
And it's a fairly good snap. Kennard's kick is a high kick, driving Tate back to his own 16-yard line. Fields, he trying to find some room on the near side of the field, and he's quickly brought down by the Centerville special teams unit. It looks like Schrader and Delaney in on the tackle for the Elks. So Fairborn's going to take over on their own 20-yard line with 28 seconds remaining. Probably look for Combs to look deep downfield for possibly Zac Lowry or P.J. Brown on this play. Maybe they can get something started before they go into the locker room at halftime.
Yeah, Fairborn needs a little bit of hope to go into the second half. They've just not shown anything at all so far in the first half. They need to get something turned around. This would be a good way to enter the halftime and maybe get things turned around.
Combs has Frazier in the backfield, takes a snap, rolling out to the far side of the field, and he decides to keep himself, cuts back up the middle of the field, and tripped up just after he crosses the line of scrimmage. It's going to be good for a gain of about 2 or 3 yards on the play. And time's going to continue to tick off the clock. There's only about 14 seconds remaining in the first half. And I believe Fairborn just going to let the time run off and try to go to the locker room and regroup before they come out for the second half of play.
Stay tuned here in just a couple minutes for the One Stop Auto Salon halftime show with the coach Jason Mitchell and Adam Kiefer with special guest Milan Kasanovich.
You are listening to Elks Football, sponsored by the One Stop Auto Salon right here on 101.5.
The best music in high school morning announcements. And of course, the world infamous Fresh Kill every Friday.
And back to receive the kick for the Skyhawks will be number 24, Ryan Tate, Josh Sexton, and P.J. Brown as they await Nugent's kick. And his kick is up. It's a high end-over-end kick, and it's going to be fielded by P.J. Brown at the 15-yard line. Brown looking to break out to the near side of the field, and number 4, Ben Ailes there to stop him at about the 21-yard line. Ailes laying actually the first one out there, and laying a little bit of a hit right there on P.J. Brown.
Ailes did an excellent job to roll out of the block and get on to the ball carrier, shut him down, put the Fairborn Skyhawks way back into their own territory.
As Trevor Combs is going to bring his unit back out to the line of scrimmage, he's going to have one split out on each side of the field, P.J. Brown and Zac Lowry, as Combs is pressured by number 22, Vince Baker, along with Nick Kapuska and Mike Shockey. Also in there pressuring Combs as he was dropping back in the pocket, and just ended up throwing that one short of anybody in the vicinity of about 10 yards.
Centerville boys soccer takes on Hudson. I can't even talk. I'm done the second half. I'm going to quit soon. Hudson tomorrow afternoon at home. Game time is 3 p.m. Catch all the action with Paul and Jeff on WCWT 101.5.
Zac Lowry split out wide to the near side of the field for the Skyhawks as Combs takes the snap, gives the ball to Frazier. Frazier trying to find something up the middle of the Centerville Elk defense and brought down after a gain of 3 yards on the play. Frazier stopped right there by the Centerville Elk defense. Looks like Chris Mitchell and A.J. Hawk in on the stop for the Elks as there's only 11:38 remaining in this third quarter.
Brings up a 3rd and 7 situation for Fairborn. Elks hoping to shut it down right now, get the ball back on the offensive side, get the younger offensive players a little bit of experience.
That's right. They're already starting to rotate some of the players on the defensive side of the ball as well. As Combs takes a snap, and he's being rushed quickly by the Centerville Elk defense. He gets off a pitch to Josh Sexton, who tries to find some room out to the far side of the field, but he is stopped just after he passes the line of scrimmage, and the Centerville Elk defense laying a big hit on Trevor Combs. Combs comes limping off the field, and that could prove to be costly later on in the game, as Combs did lead the team last year and is the leader of the team this year.
Ben Ailes, an excellent job, a hard hit on Trevor Combs to send him limping off the field.
And it looks like Tim Swoop back to punt this one away for the Skyhawks. Back to receive the kick for your Centerville Elks will be number 45, Jason Griffith. The Wonder Boy. He can do it all on offense and defense, and he awaits the kick at about the Centerville 45-yard line. It's going to be a low kick. It's going to bounce out of bounds at the Fairborn 46-yard line, so he's only going to get off a kick of about 20-plus yards on that play. The Elks are going to start off with very, very good field position on their first drive of the second half with 10:32 remaining.
The Elks coming out, sitting on a few younger players, but for the most part, looks like your typical offensive starting team. They're going to keep some of the big names in there. They don't, they got to keep them going. They do want to keep some points going. The Elks are, like I said earlier, going for the 65-point scoring record.
As Hawk fakes the handoff once and twice, and he steps back in the pocket, fires a wobbly pass down the field, and it's going to drop about 5 yards short of J.D. Kennard. Kennard, the intended receiver, number 25, Bruce Kendall, on the coverage for the Skyhawks. Hawk doing a good job of faking not once, but twice, and then tried to fire a pass downfield. Not a very good pass, kind of wobbly, and didn't quite make it to Kennard, but he had the right idea on that play.
Brings up a 2nd and 10 situation with 10:26 left here in the 3rd quarter.
Hawk takes the snap and drops back and gives to Ray Houston. However, there's a flag on the play before it can get underway. And as to see if that was some sort of a penalty on the Elks. The Elks will be plagued by penalties in the 2nd half. It's going to be a false start on the Elks. Going to bring them back for a 2nd and 15. And it's going to bring them back into their own territory on their own 49-yard line, excuse me. And the Elks do have a number of their starting players back in the offensive side of the ball right now. Just to start off the 2nd half, Ryan Hawk back in the lineup for the Elks. Probably going to get, a couple of possessions here before they start moving other guys into the lineup. As Kennard and Carpenter split out wide to the near side of the field. Hawk takes a snap, rolling out to the near side of the field, and he is passing to Kennard. Kennard catches it on the 40-yard line, bringing it in. That's going to be about 3 yards shy of the 1st down. So Hawk completing a pass right there to J.D. Kennard on the near side sideline.
Once again, a great job by J.D. Kennard there to keep the ball, or keep the catch inbounds, not taking the step out. Once again, using his tippy toes. Matt loves it when I use that little phrase. Good job by J.D. Kennard.
That's right. Hawk brings the unit back up to the line, and he has 2 split out wide to the far side of the field. Houston in the backfield for the Elks. As Hawk steps back and gives the ball to Houston. Houston run out to the far side of the field, has some room, and makes it past the 1st down marker. He gets down to about the Fairborn 30-yard line. It's going to be plenty for the 1st down. The Elks move the chains once again with 10:10 remaining in the 3rd quarter of play. The Elks are up by a score of 42-0 over the Fairborn Skyhawks. And, moving the ball down the field bit by bit, as they usually do.
Elks football on 101.5 is brought to you by the One Stop Auto Salon.
The One Stop Auto Salon is located in the heart of Centerville and deals with any kind of customizing you would like done to your car. Give them a call, 438-8023. See what they can do for you. As Hawk fakes the handoff, drops back in the pocket, fires a pass over the middle of the field, complete to Nick Redlin. Redlin makes the catch at about the 6-yard line and makes his way to the end zone for a score for your Centerville Elks. Bruce Kendall right there on the coverage for the Skyhawks, just not enough to get in front of Redlin. Redlin had the inside step on that one and made it into the end zone to put your Centerville Elks up by a score of 48-0 with 9:50 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Excellent job by the Elks to come out and regain some composure in the 2nd half after leaving the 1st half kind of rough with a lot of penalties, bringing the Elks back. Good job by the Elks offense.
A bit of a high snap, but Hawk handles it and puts it down. Nugent's kick is up and good. So it's going to put the Elks up by a score of 49-0 early on in the 3rd quarter play here at Buschemeyer Field in Fairborn, Ohio, as the Elks are up. And that is quite a well-run organization right out of the heart of Centerville. Matt Damron, the president. Give him a call, 438-8023 to set up an appointment as Nugent's kick is up. It's a low squiggling kick out to the far side of the field. Tate bobbles it a little bit, picks it up and tries to make his way up the middle of the field, and he's brought down at about the 25-yard line of Fairborn. So, and Combs still in the ball game for the Skyhawks. He was a little bit shaken up on the last drive. He is back in the lineup for the Skyhawks as Tate goes into motion. The ball given to Frazier. Frazier trying to find some room to run to. And he's quickly wrapped up by the Centerville Elk defense. About 4 or 5 players right there to make the stop for the Elks, driving him back behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a loss of, I believe, 3 yards on the play for the Skyhawks. Frazier had nowhere to go on that one.
If you wake up early on Saturday and all your friends are still asleep, make sure you call us here at
Saturday Morning Cartoons.
Saturday, thank you, as I'm reading like 4 lines at once. Saturday Morning Cartoons at 439-ELKU. Stacy and Kyle will be awake to liven up your morning. Tune in to 101.5 this Saturday and every Saturday from 9 to noon on The Beef.
As Combs takes one step back in the pocket, he's wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage by number 78, Nick Kapuska. Kapuska, I believe, is his 2nd tackle behind the line of scrimmage tonight. He has pressured Combs a number of other times earlier on in the game, and that play comes up big for the Elks as it's going to bring up a 3rd and 15 for Fairborn at about the 21-yard line.
8:41 left here in the 3rd quarter. Clock ticking away. Your Centerville Elks are up 49-0 over the Fairborn Skyhawks. We've got the 3rd and 15 situation for Fairborn.
Zach Lowry split out wide to the near side of the field for the Skyhawks. Combs rolling out to the near side of the field. Decides to keep himself, and he is quickly tripped up by Vince Baker and another Elk player right there. But not after he gets a gain of 5 yards on the play. Combs looks a little bit shaken up on the play, and that could hurt the Fairborn offense, as Combs has been the starting quarterback for the past 2 years, leading Fairborn, with everything he's good. Jeremy Belletter steps in to take the quarterbacking position he takes in to take the punt for the Skyhawks, as Jason Griffith is awaiting his kick, and it's a low kick. Griffith fields it about the 45-yard line, trying to look at what he's got, and he is trying to run out to the far side of the field, and he's quickly brought down by the Fairborn special teams unit at the Fairborn 46-yard line, so Griffith gets a return of about 9 yards on the play with 7:52 remaining in the third quarter.
Not much of a return by Jason there, but it's going to put the Elks in excellent field position, putting them on the 46-yard line. Should be a fairly easy drive for the Elks.
And the Elks offense came out and put one in the end zone on the first drive. Going to be looking to do it again on this drive as Houston's in the backfield. Ailes at the tight end spot. 2 split out wide to the near side of the field. 1 on the far side. Kennard and Griffith on the near side as the ball is faked to Houston. Pitched out to Ailes. Ailes going to cut back up the middle of the field. He gets brought down behind the line of scrimmage by a number of Fairborn players. Jeff Fitch to make the initial stop for the Skyhawks. However, there's a flag on the play. No word from the officials just yet of what the call is.
Starting to get a bit chilly out here in Fairborn. The low tonight, 48 degrees. It's well on its way to that right now.
As that could be somewhat of a factor later on in the game. Some of the players standing on the sideline getting a little bit tight before they come into play. And it looks like the penalty is going to be on the Elks, going to drive them back a number of yards. Going to bring up a first and I believe about 20 for the Elks. It drives them all the way back in their own territory. First and 20 on their own 43-yard line, with 7:35 remaining in the third quarter play. As Ailes and McLean split out wide to the far side, Kennard split out wide to the far side of the field. Griffith goes into motion, drops back in the pocket, fires a pass over the middle, in and out of the hands of number 82, that's Frank Robbins. Robbins getting a little bit of playing time last week. Him and Brad Bailey connected on a few passes towards the end of the game against Fairmont. And seen a little bit of playing time tonight as the Elks are trying to rotate some of their younger players into the game to gain some of that valuable varsity playing time. And Hawk Understanding calling the shots right now. Houston in the backfield as he drops back in the pocket. He's looking to pass. He's being rushed out of the pocket, and he's tripped up behind the line of scrimmage by the Fairborn defense. Josh Smith to make the stop for the Skyhawks behind the line of scrimmage. Is going to bring up a third and about 28 for the Elks. The Elks converting on a 3rd and 30 in the first half. We'll see what they can do on this one.
Fairborn doing an excellent job on defense on this Elk drive. Stepping up for the first time that I've seen all night.
That's right, as Hawk has 2 split out to the near side of the field, 1 on the far side. Ailes in the tight end position with Houston in the backfield. As he drops back in the pocket, gives the ball to Houston. Houston has a hole to run through on the line of scrimmage, still on his feet and barely gets through the grip of Matt Basil, and he has enough room. He's got 1 man to beat. Zach Lowry just missing the final tackle as Houston into the end zone for another score for the Centerville Elks. As he avoided a couple of tacklers right there. Matt Basil had him by the collar, but let go at about the 35-yard line. Had 1 more man to beat, Zach Lowry. Lowry just could not get enough to bring him down. And Houston into the end zone to put your Elks up by a score of 55-0.
The Elks doing an excellent job there, bringing it on a 3rd and long situation once again.
Go Elks. As Redlin awaiting the snap, and the kick from Nugent is up and good once again. Nugent 7 for 7 tonight. 8 for 8 tonight on the extra point attempts. With 6:28 remaining in this third quarter, your Elks are by a score of 56-0, dominating on both sides of the ball, and just moving the ball effectively down the field for the Skyhawks. The Elks are by a score of 56-0 with 6:28. We're waiting the kick from Nugent. This is horrible. And his kick is up. It's a good kick over the middle of the field. Going to be fielded by P.J. Brown at the 8-yard line. Brown going to cut out to the far side of the field. Has a little bit of room, avoids 1 tackler, and he's going to be Going to try and cut back to the middle of the field. He's still on his feet. And he's finally brought down by a number of Elk tacklers right there. A.J. Hawk landed a big hit on him at the 30-yard line. Brown looked like he was, going to be driven out of bounds on the far side sideline. Decided to cut back and break towards the middle of the field. Finally brought down at the 30-yard line by A.J. Hawk.
You know, Matty, I hear tomorrow at 3 p.m. is the deadline for the homecoming date situation. Tomorrow afternoon from 12 to 3, check out Willie and Spencer's show. They will hook you up if you do not have a date. Give them a call at 439-3558. They'll take care of you.
As Trevor Combs is back in the lineup for the Skyhawks, he decides to keep it himself, tries to cut up the middle of the field. It's quickly wrapped up by the Centerville Elks defense. A number of players in to make the stop for the Elks. Initial hit made by Mike Shockey and Sam Block. Also Chris Mitchell in on the tackle for the Elks. As Combs got a lot of nothing on that play.
Remember to listen to Jeff and Jason's morning show every weekday for spirited pranks, prizes, and the best music. The high school morning announcements, and of course the world famous Fresh Kill every Friday.
As Combs lines up with Tate in motion, fakes it. Handoff, pitches out to Tate. Tate has a little bit of room on the near side of the field, and he's driven out of bounds by Ryan Florkey. Florkey's seen a little bit of playing time tonight. Is a junior cornerback out there for the Elks, and didn't stop him before he got the first down, but did drive him out of bounds as he crossed the 40-yard line.
Tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m., the Centerville Elks boys soccer team takes on Hudson at home. You can catch all that action on 101.5 FM. And Matty, I believe tomorrow is senior night, or senior afternoon.
Senior day, because the game is in the afternoon, yeah. Big night for all the seniors on the Centerville Elks squad. As Ryan Tate goes into motion, the ball given to Joe Frazier. Frazier met quickly after he crosses the line of scrimmage by the Centerville Elks defense. Looks like Demko and Allison and Block in on the stop for the Elks. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 6 for the Skyhawks with 5:02 remaining in the third quarter of play.
Pull up a seat with Dawes and Bum. Listen to Dawes and Bum this Saturday as they stir up the best modern and classic rock for your pleasure. We're working hard to give you what you want.
Combs brings his team back up to the line of scrimmage. Two split out wide, one on the near side, one on the far side. Tate goes into motion, the ball given to Frazier. Frazier tries to run it right up the gut of the center of the fence, but he's quickly met by a number of Elk players right there. Gets a gain of about 2 yards to bring up a 3rd and 5, for the Fairborn Skyhawks as time continues to tick off the clock. There's only about 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter, and the Elks are getting it done on both sides of the ball.
The Elks' biggest concern right now is, like you said, to keep the clock ticking away. And they've been doing a good job of it, just moving it down. They want to go home.
The Elks looking to walk away from this one with their second WOL win of the season. Looking to go 4-1 on the year. And there's a flag before the play can even get underway. We're going to have to see what the officials are going to call on this one.
Looks like the offensive line jumped me. Defensive line jumped just 1 second later. Say offsides on the offense.
And it's going to be offsides on the defense as called by our special guest, Milan Kasanovic, up here in the booth before it even happened. And that's going to bring up a 1st down and 10 for the Skyhawks on the Centerville 48-yard line. So Fairborn moving the ball a little bit right now down the field. Get a little help right there from the Elk defense with a penalty. As Combs hands the ball off to Sexton. Sexton tries to cut back across the middle of the field, quickly wrapped up as he crossed the line of scrimmage. Good for a gain of 1 yard on the play.
Elks football on 101.5 is brought to you by the One Stop Auto Salon. The One Stop Auto Salon is located on State Route 48 behind the Women's Air and Space Museum. Head out to the One Stop Auto Salon for any performance or aftermarket looks. I'm not coming up with a word for your car. Head to the One Stop Auto Salon.
As Combs takes the snap, rolling out to the far side of the field, and he pitches out to Sexton. Sexton can't handle the ball, picks it up, and he's quickly wrapped up after he crosses the center block 44-yard line. Sexton having a little bit of trouble handling the ball out there. Combs' pitch a little bit out of his reach, but he quickly picked up the ball and gained 4 yards on the play. And the Elks are up by a score 56-0 with 3:03 remaining in the third quarter of the play. The Elks dominating on both sides of the ball, getting some of the younger guys in, getting that valuable varsity experience out on the playing field as Combs brings the unit back up to the line. He's got Brown and Tate split out wide as he drops back in the pocket, gives the ball off to Joe Frazier. Frazier wrapped up right there by the out defense. Sam Block bringing him down after he gets a gain of 2 yards on the play.
You want to look up some of the information, all the information that Maddie and I have up here in the booth. Right before game time, head to elksfootball.com on the web. Elksfootball.com covers all of your Centerville Elks football needs. They have everything from all the way from freshman level to varsity level. Head to elksfootball.com on the web.
As the punt from Jeremy Belletter up, a fairly good punt, going to drive Griffith back to the 13-yard line. He's trying to find some room in the middle of the field, and he's quickly wrapped up by Bruce Kendall after he crosses the 21-yard line. So the Elks are going to start their third drive of the second half on their own 21-yard line with 2:07 remaining in this third quarter.
The Elks offense going to come out now, I'm assuming with probably most of their starters once again. I know, as I said earlier, that the Elks are going for their single game scoring record of 65 points tonight. They were close last week. They let a lot of younger guys play and didn't get a whole lot done. They're still en route to do it tonight.
As Hawk has Huston in the backfield and Carpenter in motion. Ball given to, excuse me, that wasn't Huston, that's Herb Thorndal, and he makes it carry up the middle of the field and gets just enough for the first down for the Elks. So the Elks are rotating some of the younger guys into the game. Herb Thorndal making a good play right up the gut of the Fairborn defense to get a gain of 11 yards and move the chains for the Elks.
Excellent run by Herb Thorndal, showing some more future out of the Elks. Last week we saw a lot out of Brad Bailey and Frank Robbins, the hookup of the future for the Elks. We've seen it in the past with Hawk and Kennard.
As Hawk takes the snap, gives the ball to Thorndal. Once again, Thorndal running out to the far side of the field and takes about 3 Fairborn defenders with him as he gets out to the Centerville 44-yard line, just shy of the first down. So that was good for another gain of about 9 yards on the play, just shy. It's just feet in front of the first down. And there's only 1:25 remaining in this third quarter play as it looks like Frank Robbins back in the game for the Elks at the wideout position on the near side of the field. Carpenter also split out wide with him on the near side of the field. And before the play can even get underway, there's going to be another flag down on the field. No word from the officials just yet of what the call is.
Here we go. Here's the call.
It's going to be offsides on Fairborn. Maybe Hawk threw him off with a little hard count right there, making the defensive line jump a little bit offside. So it's going to bring up a 1st and 10 for the Elks on their own 48-yard line with 1:15 remaining in the third quarter.
The Centerville Elks are up 56-0 over the Fairborn Skyhawks, hoping to put another score on the board.
Redlin goes into motion, cuts back, receives the ball, and breaks up the middle of the field and gets just enough for the first down, crossing into Fairborn territory. He's down at the 30-yard line. Good play there by Redlin, running, I believe, a counter play up off the right side of the Centerville Elk offensive line and finding enough room to get enough for the first down.
Fairborn's defense showing their tiredness again here late in the third quarter, letting almost every play go for a good 10 or 11 yards.
As I said earlier, many of these Fairborn players play on both sides of the ball, so they are getting very, very tired out there tonight. Redlin hands the ball off to Jason Griffith. Griffith trying to make his way out to the far side of the field. Did not have much to work with. Did get a gain of 4 yards on the play. As we're going to see Redlin getting more snaps at the quarterback position tonight, giving Hawk a little bit of a breather. And maybe we'll even see Bailey later on in the game. Robbins back and at the wideout position on the near side of the field. The Elks come out in the wishbone formation with Carpenter, Ailes, and Griffith in the backfield. Griffith in motion for the Elks as the ball is given to Josh Carpenter, I believe, who makes his way down to the Fairborn 18-yard line. Good run there by Carpenter off the right side of the line to eventually make his way down into Fairborn territory inside the red zone, just inside the 20-yard line, as there's only 5 seconds remaining in this third quarter play. And that's going to do it for the third quarter out here at Buschemeyer Field as your Centerville Elks are up by a score of 56-0 over the Fairborn Skyhawks. You are listening to Elks Football, brought to you by the one-stop auto salon right here, Fairborn Skyhawks, in this second WOL game of the year for both teams. Fairborn losing last week to Beer Creek 27-20. The Elks winning over Fairmont big 55-6. The Elks looking to take a 2-0 lead in the WOL and stay atop throughout the season. as Nick Redlin brings his team back out onto the field in the wishbone formation. Nobody wide out for the Elks as the ball is given to Jason Griffith. Griffith finds a hole in the line to work with. He's still on his feet, and he finally trots in the end zone for a score for the Centerville Elks. He made his way out to the far side of the field and found enough room to run to and made his way in the end zone for another score for the Centerville Elks. So the Elks are up by a score of 62, excuse me, to nothing over the Fairborn Skyhawks with 11:53 remaining in this game. Looks like Fairborn is getting very, very tired out there as they are not showing the kind of intensity that they had at the start of the game.
Jason Griffith doing an excellent job to step up there. Finally making a big play on the offense. He's been making a couple big plays on defense. Not seeing very much out of it.
And it's a low kick from Nugent, but it still makes its way through the uprights. The hold by Redlin, good once again. So the Elks go up by a score of 63-0 over the Fairborn. Those kicks deep back into Fairborn territory as he is kicking them about the 10-yard line every single time. And we are awaiting his kick right now. And the kick is up. It's a good kick out to Ryan Tate. Tate's going to field it at the 14-yard line. He's going to cut back to the middle of the field. He's trying to find some room. He's hit there by number 30, Adam Newton. Adam Newton, one of the younger players on the Elks team. And making a big hit right there, not letting Tate break up field for any more yardage.
11:46 left here in the game. Centerville Elks are up 63-0 over the Fairborn Skyhawks. Fairborn takes the ball now to the 1st and 10. Trying to do something with the ball, get some points up on the board.
That's right. Looks like Jeremy Belletter is going to take over the quarterback position for Trevor Combs. Combs could be hurt a little bit on the sideline, took a number of hits out there on the field as the Skyhawks are going to line up in the wishbone with one wideout split out to the far side of the field. Belletter hands the ball off, and the Fairborn player quickly wrapped up by the Centerville Elk defense, every one of them in there to make the stop and drive him right back to the original line of scrimmage. Good job there by the Elk defense.
If you want to hear your favorite band try, listen to Dean and Rachel right here on 101.5. That's Tuesday from 7 to 10 on 2 for Tuesday.
And Jeremy Belletter getting the signals from the sideline. Takes the call back over to his team as they line back up on the line of scrimmage. Number 51 for the Skyhawks, Charlie LeMaster, the lone back for the Skyhawks as P.J. Brown goes into motion. Belletter rolling out to the near side of the field, decides to keep himself, tries to cut back up the middle and tripped up there by number 52 for the Elks, Adam Hazenfield, to make the stop for the Elks there on the play. The Elks rotating all kinds of younger guys into the game tonight to get that varsity experience. And you can tell this Fairborn team is getting very, very tired tonight.
Catch the beef stew right for Elks football on Friday nights at 7:30.
As soon as Frazier gets a carry, I'm going to use it.
Your favorite tunes every Friday from 4 to 7 with your favorite Mike Kneidl Foley, WCWT 101.5 FM Centerville.
And Charlie LeMaster, the lone back once again for the Skyhawks, as Jeremy Belletter takes a snap. And before the play can get underway, there's going to be another flag down on the field. Possibly a false start on the Elks, as it's going to be whistled. A false start against Fairborn. Another great call right there by our in-house guest, Milan Kasanovic, as it's going to push the Skyhawks back further into their own territory. They're going to be on their own 28-yard line right now, as Jeremy Belletter gets the call once again from the sidelines and brings his team back out onto the field, or back out to the line of scrimmage. They line up in the same formation once again. Belletter turns around to talk to LeMaster, the lone back for the Skyhawks. As one player goes into motion, the handoff to Brown. Brown breaking out to the near side of the field, has a little bit of run to run to, and he's finally knocked out of bounds right there by Adam Hazenfield. Hazenfield putting down his helmet and just driving him out of bounds, but that might not be enough to stop him from getting the first down on the play.
9:58 here left in the game. Clock stopped for just a moment to move the chains down. The Centerville Elks are up 63-0 over the Fairborn Skyhawks.
And the Elks rotating all their younger guys into the game tonight, trying to get them that valuable varsity experience that is one of the key elements in this Centerville Elk team being as good as it is this year, as all of these guys got experience last year. As Belletter fakes a handoff, decides to keep himself quickly hit by A.J. Hawk behind the line of scrimmage. Hawk right there. Could have earned another hitting stripe on that hit right there of Jeremy Belletter. It looks like Fairborn's trying to get some of their younger guys into the game to get some experience too. We're not seeing Trevor Combs, Joe Frazier, or Ryan Tate any of those guys in the game right now for the Skyhawks.
Hawk looking absolutely excellent tonight. You'll never see this much leadership out of a freshman. You rarely see this much leadership out of a freshman. He's doing an excellent job of leading this Elks defense.
That's right, Jeremy Belletta brings the Skyhawks back out. And the ball given off to P.J. Brown. Brown trying to find some room to work with in the middle of the field. It's quickly wrapped up after a gain of 2 yards on the play by the Centerville Elks defensive unit. Some of those veteran players for the Skyhawks gotta be feeling tired. I mean, I know to Joe Frazier, this has got to be, I mean, it seems to him like it's going to be a 15-round fight.
You've been working so hard to throw that in tonight, man.
I tried. I was waiting for him to get back in the game. I wanted to use it because, you know, Joe Frazier, the world-famous boxer, and he's not in the game right now, so I tried to throw it in right there. I'm sorry it did not work out. As P.J. Brown goes into motion, the letter runs into his own player, Charlo Master, in the backfield, and decides to keep himself in. Is wrapped up on the near side of the field by the Centerville Elk defense. Number 41 for the Elks, Josh Kneidl, makes the stop for the Elks, and looks like Frazier's back in the game for the Skyhawks. However, the Skyhawks are going to punt this one away. Jeremy Belletta to do the punting for the Skyhawks. Looks like Brandon Peck back to receive for the Elks. This is a low snap. Belletta handles it and sends a nice end-over-end kick down into Centerville territory. It's going to bounce and roll to about the 31-yard line of the Centerville Elks. So your Elks will take over with 8:05 remaining in this game. They're up by a score of 63-0 over the Fairborn Skyhawks. We're going to see many, many Elk players getting playing time tonight. Looks like Nick Redlin's going to lead the offense on this drive, as there's only 8:06 remaining in this game.
Centerville boys soccer take on Huston tomorrow afternoon at home. Game time is 3 p.m. Catch all the action with Paul and Jeff on WCWT 101.5 FM. You know, Maddie, I hear that number 18 guy's pretty good.
I heard that too. You know, he's always out there giving it his all. And back to Centerville football action right here. Redlin tried to get a playoff right there, but it stopped short by a flag, and it's going to be a false start on the Elks. So the Elks plagued by penalties tonight. And, you know, making good plays on the offensive side of the ball. However, they're being brought back due to penalty after penalty. It looks like Jason Flowers is going to get into the game for the Elks. He's split out wide to the near side of the field. Frank Robbins out on the far side of the field. As Redlin's in the quarterback position, Bailey in motion. And Redlin decides to keep himself, finds his way out on the far side sideline, finally driven out of bounds at the Elk 39-yard line. Not bad there by Redlin. Ran into a little bit of traffic and finally brought out of bounds after a gain of 5 yards on the play.
Matt just making a comment a minute ago about how the Elks have been playing by penalties. In the first half alone, the Elks had 65 penalty yards. That's outrageous. The Elks need to work on that. In the coming weeks, they take on Wayne and Springfield South. That will not be happening.
If they want to compete for the WO championship, then Chip's right on that point. As Adam Newton gets the ball, refusing to go down. He's got 2 Fairborn defenders hanging on his back. Newton bouncing off one player and another player, and finally brought down by 2 Fairborn defenders right there. Charlie Master on stop for the Skyhawks. It's going to bring up the 1st and 10. Newton did get enough for the first down for the Elks.
Newton playing excellent last week in the 4th quarter against Fairmont. He's coming out here in the 4th quarter against Fairborn and once again showing he's a good football player.
That's right. As Redlin under center bonus shots for the Elks right now. Thorndal in motion as Redlin fumbles the snap a bit, decides to give himself, cuts up the middle of the field and gets enough. Just stopped short of the first down. That's going to be a gain of 7 on the play. As 7:23 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The Elks are up by a score 63-0. Looking to string together another touchdown, as Chip has been saying all night, trying to break a scoring record at the Centerville High School, you know, within the football program. The Elks are getting very good ball movement from their younger group right now, as Jason Flowers gets the ball right now, tries to run right up the gut of the Fairborn defense, and brought down just shy of the first down marker. Actually, that was David Serr, excuse me. David Serr. Excuse me, I did not mean to dodge that up. And the Elk offense looking very strong right now. It's going to bring up a 3rd and short for the Elks with 6:42 remaining in this game.
Maddie, I'm wondering if we talk slower and reverse the situation here, if the game might go a little bit faster, if we just talk as slow as possible.
As Redlin has Bailey in motion, turns and hands the ball off to Newton. Newton busts right up the middle of the field, refusing to go down once again, and gets more than enough. Got about 10 yards on the play right there. Newton's such a strong, explosive player. When he gets down low and gets that ball, he just busts right through the line, and he showed it right there, taking about 3 Fairborn Skyhawk defenders with him and just, refusing to go down.
That Newton kid must be hanging out with Ben Ailes on the Elks. The Ailes shows that never give up attitude every game, never letting anybody take him down until the very last second.
As Redlin turns and hands the ball off to Thorndal. Thorndal met after he crosses the line of scrimmage and quickly brought down after a gain of 3 yards on the play. Not a bad play there by the Elks.
Brings up about a 2nd and 7 with 5:50 left here in the game. The Elks moving the ball, but not moving it quite as fast as they were earlier in the game. I know a couple of those players are getting tired. A couple of them are younger players, but doing a good job. Hopefully get the ball down there and break that scoring record.
That's right. This is a younger Elks offensive team out on the field right now. However, they still are doing the job done. Jason Flowers split out wide to the far side of the field. Rhoda takes a snap, decides to keep himself, tries to cut up the far side sideline, trying to do a little bit of shake and bake out there on the far side sideline. Does not get enough for the first down. He's about 2 yards shy of the first down marker, as there was only 5:16 remaining in the game. The Elks are by a score of 63-0 over the Fairborn Skyhawks.
That's going to bring up about a 3rd and about 2, it looks like, for the Elks. Elks should go convert this back to another first down. Keep moving the ball down the field. The Elks need to not worry about big play. They did their big play stuff earlier. Play Elks football, get the ball, move it slow, get the job done.
That's right, as the ball is off to Adam Newton right up the gut of the Fairborn defense, and gets more than enough for the first down once again. And as Chip just said a minute ago, this is a chance for the younger Elk players to get into the game and, iron out the mistakes they might have, or, just work on their technique, or, anything that they can work on out on the game field, because they cannot really gain that in practice as they can out on the field in actual games. So, this is very, very important for those younger Elk players, as I think the Elks are going to call a timeout right now. But the Elks do have a number of tough games coming up as they round out the WOL schedule, as Redlin moves them back out to the line of scrimmage. Redlin turns, hands the ball off to, I believe, Adam Newton. Newton refusing to go down and finally brought down after a gain of 4 yards on the play. So the Elks rotating many, many players into this game. Gary Mesmer and David Serr back in the game for the Elks. Some of those younger guys getting a lot of experience.
Number 12, Trevor Combs on the sidelines. Has been hit several times hard tonight. Has been out the last couple of drives, but now has ice wrapped around his knee, trying to hobble around on the sidelines a little bit. Maybe trying to save him for the rest of the season. They got a long way to go, and he's a good leader.
As Mesmer goes into motion, Redlin takes a handoff, goes out to the far side of the field on the option, and is quickly brought down out on the far side of the field by the Fairborn defense. He's a couple of yards shy of the first down, as there's only 4 minutes remaining in this game. The Elks are up by a score of 63-0 over the Fairborn Skyhawks.
Brings up about a 3rd and 2 for the Elks. Once again, should convert. Put the ball just a little bit close to the end zone. 3:46 left here in the game.
And Jason Flowers put out wide to the near side of the field. Mesmer in motion. The ball handed off to number 28, David Serr right there. For the Elks, it gets more than enough for the first down. It's going to bring up a 1st and goal for the Elks on the Fairborn 9-yard line. The Elks looking to put a couple more points up on the board, break the scoring record, and go home with a big win going into next week against Beaver Creek.
That's right, Matty. We were talking a little bit about there's a long season ahead, and if all goes the way the Elks would like it to, it'll be an even longer season beyond the 5 games. Hopefully maybe getting playoff bid for the Ohio State playoffs.
As Robin and Flowers are split out wide for the Elks, one on each side of the field. Thorndal in the tight end position. The ball given to David Serr as he's wrapped up quickly at the line of scrimmage by the Fairborn defense. Number 77, excuse me, that's not Spencer Schrader. Number 77 for the Fairborn defense right there, Danny Hall. Sounds a little bit better to wrap up Serr as he crossed the line of scrimmage.
It could be one of the 2 77s that Fairborn has on their team. There's double listing here, but it was Danny Hall on that play. The announcer confirmed that. 2:45 left here in the game. As
Redlin, running out to the far side of the field, decides to keep himself quickly hit before he goes to the goal line and makes his way to the end zone for another score for the Centerville Elks. So the Elks go up by a score of 69-0 over the Fairborn Skyhawks. Redlin hit quite hard at the goal line by one of the Fairborn linebackers, and Redlin refusing to go down, just punched right through him into the end zone for a score for the Centerville Elks with 2:39 remaining in this game, as Nugent's going to come out onto the field and try and put another extra point through the uprights to put the Elks up by a score of 70-0.
The Elks now passing the points scored in the game record. Many of the players on the sidelines congratulating each other on this accomplishment.
And Nugent's kick is up and good, barely getting it past number 14, Jason Wheeler for the Fairborn Skyhawks, as the Elks up by a big score of 70-0 over the Fairborn Skyhawks right now, as it looks like both teams are trying to get some of their younger guys in, get them a little bit more playing time here and there, and Nugent's going to come back out on the field for the Elks to take the kickoff.
Yeah, speaking of younger guys getting on, I'm going to get some duties and some shots here. I'm Adam Kiefaber coming in as reserve for Chip Bray.
And with that last touchdown that the Elks scored at 10-yard or 9-yard run by Nick Redlin, you are listening to History in the Making for the Elks. That's right, History in the Making for the Elks, as the Elks just broke their old scoring record of 65 points in a single game. They beat that mark by 5 points right now. There's still 2:39 left in the game, so the Elks could surpass that by even more, as Nugent lines up to take the kick for the Elks, as Brown, Tate, and Sexton back to receive for the Skyhawks. It's a good kick, end over end, out to Sexton on the far side of the field. He bobbles it a bit, drops it, picks it up at the 15-yard line, trying to find some room to run to, and he's quickly brought down by the Elk special teams unit. Number 52, Adam Hazenfield, in on the stop for the Elks.
Yeah, number 23 got it there instead of P.J. Brown. He's been returning the kicks all day. He tried to lead a block there, which was pretty sorry block, because he's so tired. He's been playing almost every play. He's been playing offense, he's been playing defense, and he's been playing special teams, as he had a 60-yard kickoff return earlier this game.
And it looks like there's going to be a new quarterback in the mix for the Skyhawks, Jason Wheeler, to do quarterbacking for the Skyhawks. And the ball is handed up right up the gut of the Centerville defense to number 51, Charlie LeMaster. LeMaster, good for a gain of 3 yards on the play, as the defense is rotating many players into the game right now. A lot of younger guys in the game gaining that experience.
Yeah, I'd have to say, number 51, that's not a good running back number, I'd have to say. So, you know now Fairborn's got to have their reserves in too.
2:03 remaining in this game. The Elks are up by a score of 70-0, as Jason Wheeler takes a snap, tries to hand the ball off to Charlie LeMaster right up the middle of the field, and he's quickly stopped and dropped back behind the line by the Centerville Elk defense. The Elk defense a little young right now, but they're still getting the job done, and doing a fine job.
Yeah, they had a whole pile of defensive players on that play. They had some, and a whole bunch of people just jumped right on top of them. It almost looked like a pile for a fumble. That's how bad the offensive line is playing for Fairborn right now.
As it looks like Jason Wheeler is going to bring his team back up to the line of scrimmage. They are set up in the wishbone formation with Brian Soper split out wide to the far side of the field. And the snap is taken by Wheeler. Wheeler gives the ball to LeMaster. LeMaster wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage by the Centerville Elks defense. And there is 1:10 remaining in this game as time continues to tick off the clock. Fairborn's going to have to punt this one away once again.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're going to have too much time to score again to run up their record total now. But it's been a good game overall. You got number 25, Brandon Peck back there. Return the kick. Pretty small guy, 5'9", 45.
As the kick from DeLetter is a high kick, it's going to be fielded by Peck. He fumbles it a bit, and he's quickly tackled as Fairborn recovers the ball on the Centerville Elk 46-yard line. Peck tried to field that, or tried to take that one at his own 45-yard line, bobbled it a bit, was quickly hit by Ryan Tate, and recovered there by Mike Estep. So Fairborn's going to have the ball on the Centerville Elk 46-yard line with 38 seconds remaining in this game. The Elks are by a score 70-0.
And that play gave the fumble on the punt, gave Fairborn one of their best field positions of the day. I think they've only been across the 50 one other time this whole game, but that turned into a turnover. Is that a big fumble recovery and return by E.J. Hawks for a touchdown?
And Wheeler takes a snap, hands it off to P.J. Brown. Brown trying to look for something really long to, and he's brought down after gaining 4 yards on the play. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 6 for the Skyhawks. as they're trying to drive deeper into Elk territory. And time just continues to wind down on the clock as there's only 20 seconds remaining in the game. Looks like both teams are just going to let the time tick off the clock as Wheeler's kind of just jogging back to his team out on the field. And there's only 10 seconds remaining. Looks like the Elks are going to take away a 70-0 win here tonight, making history tonight, breaking their old scoring record of 65 points in a single game. So that is it. The final gun has sounded, and your Elks win by a score of 70-0 over the Fairborn Skyhawks in the second WOL game of the year. For Adam Kiefer, Chip Ray, I am Matt Kasanovic. You are listening to Elks Football WCWT, brought to you by the One Stop Auto Salon, right here on the 101.5.
What'd you call it?
That was about the most boring game I've ever seen in my entire life. I tried to use this. I tried, and I botched it up. I did so bad. No, I had it, and I couldn't see it because I was trying to look down and point at it, and I was like, no, I thought it was good. I wanted to use it. Oh, I had it.
There's 45 and 55-year-old guys sitting there waiting for you to say
Oh,
something.
God.
Are you signed off, or are we coming back?
Take some
Alright, I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, see you, man. Thanks for coming up. No problem.
Adam, power down the Marty, would you?
Hey, no. Hey, Matt. How do I power down this?
Turn off. Just turn it. The switch on the far right.